wearing the blue. He'll face Alexander Povetkin in the red. These are the super heavyweights. We just saw Odlanier Solis decision Alexiev to win gold in the heavyweight class. Can Pedro Carrio do the same at the expense of his Russian opponent? Carrio, the bronze medalist in Belfast, he took over as the Cuban super heavyweight from Alexis Rubalcaba. All 275 pounds of him. Rubalcaba, well, he had size, and he's a physical specimen.
What a specimen.
He was dropped, though, from the Cuban team after bombing out of the Sydney Olympics. Rubalcaba, coach, looked like he had it all. He just didn't have a right foot. Looked like he had two left feet.
Yeah, and he just never was able to master the coordination for such a big body. But what an imposing figure. And these two guys, boy, they're going at it right from the outset. Hard shots being landed.
And the punching power of the super heavyweights is not to be underestimated. This is not usually a finesse class, rather a power class.
But both these guys have good boxing moves. Again, when you expect to see some kind of dinosaur action or uncoordination, you're seeing two guys here with good skills throwing good punches. Nice shots from Povetkin, and the counter shots landing from Carrio. Both guys trading hard bombs here in the center of the ring.
And remember, this is just round number one. Povetkin decisioned an Olympic bronze medalist, Sadov of Uzbekistan, to advance to the final. Carrio got a decision over Sebastian Kober of Germany to advance. Povetkin's the 2002 European champion. And that says a lot about his boxing ability. The European Championships generally thought of as the second best tournament on the planet next to the World Championships.
Certainly the toughest. Or maybe the toughest one would have to be winning the Cuban National Championship. That would probably be the toughest.
And that's the thing about the Cubans. They're never guaranteed a spot on the team. They usually have to fight their way out of their own country.
You know, the Cubans could probably field two teams at every major game and probably finish top 3 or top 5 with both teams.
Well, it's generally accepted in Cuba that if you don't play baseball, you box, and if you don't box, you play baseball. Well, it's even in round number one between Carrio and Povetkin.
At least these guys are working on the inside and not trying to drape themselves over each other. They get on the inside, they're working. Povetkin needs to be on the inside because he's got to make up for that height and reach advantage that Carrio holds. Actually making some good moves to get under the reach of Carrio and take away that big right hand and land his own good looping shots over the top. There it was.
So Pedro Carrio of Cuba, Alexander Povetkin of Russia, set now for round number 2 of the super heavyweight final. Lennox Lewis won this division for Canada in '88 in Seoul. Vladimir Klitschko for Ukraine in '96. Of course, we've heard a lot from those boxers in the ensuing years.
Oh boy, are these guys landing bombs. Right hands, left hooks from Carrio. And Povetkin staying right there with him, punch for punch.
This is action-packed in a way that we don't often see the super heavyweights perform. Trading blows in the center of the ring, and they're hard shots.
Oh, these guys are looking to end it with one shot, and they're throwing combinations too. Like, it's not just one, it's right hand, left hooks coming around. Usually the shorter guy holds the advantage in this. The edge should go to Povetkin if they're going to exchange toe-to-toe because his center of gravity is lower and the target is smaller. Carrio sticking up higher, the head higher in the air, makes for a good, nice target against a looping right hand.
Well, the Cubans have been searching for their super heavyweight since the tragic passing of Roberto Bellato, who won in '92 in Barcelona. As I mentioned earlier, Rubalcaba was thought to be the next one, but they dropped him from the team. It looks like they found their man in Carrio.
See, this is now, again, just when we said this wasn't getting sloppy on the inside, these guys start to get sloppy, and I'm blaming the referee again here. I mean, do your job when you're in there. Oh, good hard left hook he tried to land.
Carrio.
He was looking to end it right there. See, here's what the problem is. They get on the inside. Each guy is afraid to throw punches because he doesn't want to drop his guard, and the referee is not giving them the order to break and make them step back, so they're having to break on their own, as if you were doing sparring in the gym.
Povetkin trying to get on the inside, and Carrion trying to come back with the uppercut. Still even now. It was tied after round one. 14-14 now, late in round number 2.
Good hard body shots on the inside. They didn't come up for Carrion. He landed a good uppercut coming in.
Well, 2 tough rounds of boxing and little to choose between Carrion and Povetkin.
Boy, they were exchanging hard shots. That was early right hands coming around with left hooks. Hard to hit a shorter guy with a left hook. It either goes around him or it goes above him. I think if I was in Carrion's corner, I'd be telling him, get that uppercut working a little bit more. This smaller guy is bending down to throw his looping shots over the top. Get that uppercut working.
Super heavyweights, Carrion of Cuba in the blue, Povetkin of Russia wearing the red, out now for round number 3. Holding nothing back in this fight.
Now, see, this is where the referee should come in and break them, because he's making the fighters break themselves. And if ever a guy gets knocked out or gets nailed with a shot as 2 fighters are coming out of a break, that's going to make for controversy again, and it's controversy that could be avoided. Get in there, break them up, let them start over again, but don't just let them drape on each other. Now, look, it takes 5 seconds for him to give the caution. Give the caution, get out there, let their work. Break them now. Boom, they're waiting. Break them now.
One of the closer fights of the World Championships. This could come down to 1 or 2 scoring shots.
At least both guys showing some kind of desire here in the last round. We didn't really see that in a couple of the fights going into the last round when fights were winnable. Guys kind of just gave up on it. Again, the wrestling going on there. You see, he held him and cracked him with a shot.
Right.
But that's
from
the referee's
Carrion, and that one counts.
But that's the referee's fault. If he would have gotten in there and broke them, Carrion wouldn't have been able to land that shot. Now Carrion holding on to a 3-point lead.
That 3-point lead, but the way this bout has gone, could be significant. Looks like they're both running out of gas.
Now they're taking a point away. Taking 2 points away from Carrion.
Carrion had a 3-point lead, but the math on this is that the point taken away from one fighter is awarded to the other, so it's a 2-point swing, and now we're tied at 20.
See, this is what I'm telling you. This is where I'm saying that it could be controversial. Now Carrion again gets a point lead.
Well, I could see the Cubans railing away over that at the end of this fight. This is a close bout. And that was a significant turn of events.
Get in there and break them.
Is it clear to you why he took the point away?
He called him for holding. Good left hook lands on the inside. Right hand over the top. We're tied again. Povetkin lands 2 shots on the inside. Again, the referee not getting in there and separating the fighters. You're asking them to referee themselves, and 2 fighters, when they get on the inside, no one wants to step back because it's dangerous to step back. You can get hit with a shot. The referee should be getting in there. Look at this. 2 points came up for the Russian.
Well, at one point it was a 3-point lead for Pedro Carrion of Cuba. Then the point taken away from him. At the end of round 3, it's a 2-point lead for Povetkin.
This is just poorly refereed bout, and I just don't like to see that when 2 guys are on the inside and the referee just watching them. Get in there, break them up. You see, they're forcing to break themselves. They're having to push each other off on their own. That's not right.
Fourth and final round of the super heavyweight final. Pedro Carrion down by 2 against Alexander Povetkin of Russia. And again, that's Carrion in the blue, Povetkin wearing the red. Cuban quickly back with a scoring shot, so it's down to a 1-point lead now for Povetkin.
Right hand over the top from Povetkin finds the mark. That's the shot against the taller guy. Loop it over the top. Oh, there's a good right hand from Carrion, but that didn't come up.
Back to a 2-point gap, and Coach, you know the Cubans will be enraged at the end of this bout over the point being taken away from Carrion in the third round. That could be the deciding factor here.
Right now it is. Right now it is the deciding factor. And now he's cautioned Povetkin for all kinds of things. He's had his head down, he's cautioned him for all kinds of things, and he hasn't taken a point away. There's the head down again. Watch the referee, just looking at them, just looking at them. Figure how much time has passed over the last 2 rounds where he's just stood looking at the 2 fighters. See how they have to break themselves there?
Now the power shots again from both fighters. Nothing scores, still a 2-point lead for Povetkin. Time working against Carrion now. Carrion steps in with the wild right but does not land.
Again, the referee just standing and watching them, and the fighters having to break themselves. 2 points, still the mark.
We saw a lot of this in the previous bout. Solis against Alexiev of Russia, draped over each other. The referee was not eager to break them up. We're seeing it again in the super heavyweight final. Back to a 2-point lead now for Alexiev, or I should say Povetkin of Russia.
And again, they're waiting for the referee to break them, and it's not happening. Another shoddy performance in the refereeing department when these guys are on the inside. And there it is, the 2-point difference.
That scored, but that's not enough. And Povetkin of Russia wins the gold medal. A narrow decision. 2-point victory for Povetkin.
And thank you, Mr. Referee, for awarding the gold medal to the Russian.
That's exactly how the Cubans will see it. You know that. As it turns out, as we thought, the point being taken away from Carrion in the third round is the deciding factor here.
You know, this was so we saw some of this in Sydney when the referees, and we criticized it, where the referees are taking too long to break them on the inside, and it's still consistent. It's still persistent here.
The smaller fighter Alexander Povetkin of Russia wins the gold here. Took a penalty to Carrion in the third round for him to get it. Coach